All right. I was looking through my Steam library and realized I haven't really played much of them in a while. Thought it might be fun to do a couple of videos on my Steam library. So, this is a card game, a collectible card game called Infinity Wars. It's free to play, though I guess some people refer to this specific style of game model as far as how it's monetized as freemium. You can either pay money for an in-game currency and use that to unlock cards, or if you strictly play without spending any cash on it, it takes a lot longer to unlock cards and decks. I think the most consistent way to bring in the in-game currency to buy new cards and decks is by doing player versus player. And what's tricky about that is you might run into someone who's spending a lot of cash on their deck and they'll have access to some really powerful cards and it'll be hard for you to compete. But I've been able to build all these decks and I could probably make a couple more just by doing the free model. It just takes a long time. So I'm going to use my Genesis Industries deck. And basically the way this deck works is I have these droids that when they die, they can basically resurrect one another. And by having this guy here, when they come back, they're a little bit stronger. And if I use her ability, I can make my droid stronger. And if it's one of the droids that doesn't resurrect automatically, I can use him to bring them back. And yeah, it basically works on I sacrifice creatures liberally because I can get them to respawn and they'll come back a little bit stronger. Now, if you're just playing strictly against the computer, if you don't want to get into player versus player, your options are a bit more limited as far as game types, but you can still have fun with it. I played this game for a while. I can't remember how many weeks. I think I played for a couple of months just going against the computer, and I had fun. Player versus player didn't work out for me too well, but that's just me. This is one of those games I play just to chill out and relax with. I'm not that serious about this particular game. So just to go over the mechanics very briefly, you start off with one resource, and every turn you get another one. So I had one resource, I played that one card. Let's see if I can back that up actually. Yeah. So this guy will give me an extra maximum resource. So next turn, instead of 2, I should have 3. Then since he only costs 1 resource, he's my only option. So I'll drop him, and I'll end my turn. So now the computer plays their guy, and I get a new card. My turn. I'll put it one of my droids. And that's that. So right now, to start off, I'm at a bit of a disadvantage. Ooh, that'll come in handy. This particular card here, every turn that I don't attack, they get a bit tougher. And it's been 2 rounds already. So they've got one there, and they have one in there. I think it's not the support zone. This is the support zone. I forget what this is. But basically, these are your generals. Which is actually a feature of the game I really like. Because, say you have a deck built around a certain combo, and there's certain cards you need, it's kind of random whether or not you'll get them. But with these 3 cards in the staging area, they're always there. So no matter how many games I play, these 3 cards will always be in that section. And that works out really well for me. So I'm going to try to get some more droids out. And let's see how much damage. This does 4 damage. That's not really going to help me yet, so I'm going to hold off on using that. And let's see how bad this goes. Alright, that's fine. That softens him up. And then he comes back. Yeah, because the way these droids work, at the start of each turn, Unending Drone raises one other Unending Drone from your graveyard to your support zone. So as long as I can keep one of these guys alive, I'll get another one. And yeah, and thanks to, should be this guy, when a character is raised from the graveyard under your control, it gains +2/+2 and becomes artificial. These guys are already artificial, so it's no big deal. So they go down as a 2/2, but he came back as a 4/4. So it's actually to my benefit for these guys to die a lot. This does 4 damage. Yeah, I'm going to play that and get rid of him just because I don't want to get overwhelmed. Oh. Oh, okay. I thought he moved somewhere else. Alright. So, The deck I'm using, it takes a little bit of a while for it to build up steam, whereas the enemy put down this guy that does 10 points of damage. He's going to be tough, but I can start to slow him down. And let's get you out. I can actually use these guys as ammunition for this guy's cannon, which does 4 damage. It's not always practical, but I do it anyway sometimes. I need to keep... I don't want all these guys to die too quickly, so I'm going to put him there, see if he can get a shot in. Let's see how that goes. Alright, good. I'm only going to lose 1 droid. That's fine. And I'm slowly wearing down that knight that does so much damage. Ooh, she'll come in handy. Okay, you go there. This is a card that I really like. I can sacrifice an artificial character and basically add their power plus an additional +1/+1 onto another character. So if I use her, I can sacrifice this guy, and he'll basically add 5 attack and 5 defense to another character. Pretty handy. And I'm going to use this guy's ammunition to shoot him. Get another guy in play. And... okay, that's person 6, down to 4. And I am still losing, but I'm gradually picking up steam. Oh, did I mess up? Yes, I did. I didn't protect my droids. I was supposed to keep one of them alive. Alright, so if I put him here, I can get rid of that nasty one. Actually, I'm going to do this. I'll blast him, and then he can defend against the next guy. Limit some of the damage I'm taking. Oops. Oh boy, their defensive line. Yeah, this deck I'm fighting against is basically built around having a very solid defense. And it takes time to crack through it. And that actually went okay. Because I can use this guy's ability. Removes a card from my graveyard, and I pay resources equal to its cost. And it'll make a new artificial character. So I don't want to waste it on these guys. They'll resurrect themselves eventually if I do it right. But I can get this cannon back. And he's something that I can use any way I see fit. I'm going to sacrifice... yeah, this one to buff this guy. So this one should turn into about a 5/5, I think? Yeah, it should turn into a 5/5, and he should be able to get rid of these two. And then I won't be getting hammered as hard by their offensive line. Yeah, that's the other thing you probably noticed is you have a defense zone and an offense zone, which is part of the strategy of the game. Nice. I'm totally okay with how that ended. Alright, making some progress here. So, anything you put in your defense zone will only defend, and anything you put in your assault zone will only attack. And you can move them freely, so you gotta try to guess around what the computer or your opponent's going to do to stay ahead of the game. I've got a couple more guys that'll slowly be resurrected. Let's shift her out of the way. I'm going to use her ability to add +3/+3 to him, make him stronger. And then I'm going to move him here, and I will use her ability, cannibalize this guy, make him stronger. And I think that'll do it. That'll do it for right now. Right? Nice. Yeah, their support guy can raise their health. And that worked out well for them. Ooh, a flying guy. I need him in the front line. Because he can go right over their heads. I'll take this guy, he's cheaper. Get him out there. And let's see here. Cannibalize him to buff him. And I will use her ability on this guy. He's doing pretty good. I want to keep him going. And let's do one more. There. Let's see how we do there. Alright, resurrecting one. Fantastic. Alright, making some progress here. Ooh, that'll come in handy. Excellent. Pardon me. Alright, so I'm using this guy's ability. I'm going to resurrect that Cannoneer. I've got plenty of resources at this point in time. I'm going to save this card. It just does some damage. It does, see, 4 damage to 2 different characters. That's not really going to end anybody, so I'm just going to hang on to it for right now. And let's see here. I'm going to use her ability. Turn this guy into a perk for him. That should raise him to a 9-7. This guy's flying, so he'll do some consistent damage as well. And let's see here. Put him there and make him a bit tougher. There. I'm going to move him back down the line. The way it works is that it's sequential, so this guy will attack this guy will attack that guy, and so on. So this guy should get through if there's no one left to block him. This guy can't be blocked because he's flying. Let's see if I remember how the rules work correctly. Okay, get that guy resurrected. There's a perk on him. Perk on him. Ah, he boosted their health again. I think every other turn he can do that. Okay, that's right. Because if you have one defender, no matter how many people are attacking, they'll just keep blocking. So, until they run out of health, they'll try to block every person. That was my mistake. But fortunately, because I have so many strong characters, it wasn't an issue. Okay, so we put him here. Do that. And this game's pretty much over. The other thing is the difficulty curve isn't that hard on this game. Once you start to get some decent cards, you'll be able to consistently blow through them, no issue. So, like, the bread and butter of this game as far as content, in the end, turns into being player versus player. It just wasn't my scene. So I just take my time and have fun playing against the computer. There we go. Now I'm starting to do some damage. Okay, let's use him up on him. And I'm actually going to use this guy on him. Oops. I mean, there's nothing left for me to resurrect, so this guy might as well have something to do. So this deck is fairly straightforward in how it works, and I think, yeah, this should be the last turn. There we go. They're all nice and strong now. And there you go. That's that. So, it takes a little while for this deck to get going, and against a deck with a strong defense, it's definitely a few turns before I start to make some progress. But yeah, that's basically how the game works. And yeah, because I'm playing the computer, I don't make a lot of money. So you need like, it's something like 5,000 IP to buy like a booster pack that's like, I think 20 or 30 cards. But then there's a cheaper one that has about 15 cards in it. And yeah, so if you're only playing against the computer, it's going to be a while before you can really unlock some cards. So yeah, this is basically considered training. There's also the Academy, which helps you learn the rules and how the different gaming systems work. Which, if you check it out, is it's pretty helpful. It's definitely a good idea when you're new to check those out. And then there's the campaigns. The campaigns are interesting because, let's see here, they each focus on the different factions in the game. With the Flame Dawn, you just use Flame Dawn decks. But with pretty much every other one, maybe not the Warpath, but with every other one, once you get to about mission 4 or so, maybe even 5, then you can use a custom deck. So all those decks that you build on your own, you can then use them in these campaigns, which is fun. It adds a lot more replayability to the campaign when you're able to do that. Is it cards? Yeah, here we go. So, and this is the cards menu where, let's see here. This is the deck I was just using. So select that. And this basically shows you all the cards. These are your generals, the ones that are always up, and you can put pretty much any card you want there. It has to be like a creature card, basically. And then you can tweak the numbers on which cards you put in. It's a fairly simple interface. It doesn't take very long to get used to it. They did a good job designing this. But yeah, I put a decent amount of hours into the game. I can actually check my Steam log later and see how many cards. How many hours I put into this game. But yeah, it's free to play. You don't have to drop a cent on it. So if you like collectible card games, you can give it a spin. You might like it. So yeah, that is Infinity Wars, and I will see you guys next time.